Well, that's not ideal.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Okay.
Shabbos. Thank you, Ryan.
We begin with Shalom Aleichem on page 142. It's 142 in the big books, but if you're using the thin books, you're going to want to follow the
Bracketed.
bracketed number.
Blue numbers.
Blue numbers. Blue numbers. Okay. We're good.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem leshalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We turn to page 120, and it is my honor to invite up Karen Piasek to light our Shabbat candles, much to her surprise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav metzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat.
And for those who are able, we rise together for our Kiddush, top of page 123.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי באנו בחג אותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. לחיים.
L'chaim. We read together the top of page 125. 125. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this Shabbat day, abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time, contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat, abide. We turn to page 138, our Lachadodi.
Lechandondi likrat kala yananai 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela yainai dai lechandondi likrat kala yananai 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela shamor vezachor bedibur echad השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לחנדוני לקראת קלה ינדי 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 פני שבת. נקבלה יעיני לחנדוני לקראת קלה ינדי 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 פני שבת. נקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי היא מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשם בתחילה לחנדוני לקראת קלה ינדי 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 פני שבת נקבלה יעיני לחנדוני לקראת קלה ינדי 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 פני שבת נקבלה התעוררי התעוררי כי באורך ומי אורי 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 שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לחנדוני לקראת קלה ינדי 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 פני שבת נקבלה יעיני לחנדוני לקראת קלה ינדי 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 פני שבת נקבלה.
And we rise together, greet Shabbat HaMelka.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה לחנדוני לקראת קלה ינדי 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 בני שבת נקבלה יעיני לחנדוני לקראת קלה ינדי 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 בני שבת נקבלה.
I know Paul Maseller, blessed memory, would get mad at me because I'm going off script. So, Jeff, I hope you're not mad at me too, but it's not my nature. But I really miss praying in this chapel because when we're here and we fill up the space, it's something beautiful. When I first came in 2019, I think the first 7 months before the virus, this is where we were on Friday nights, unless we had B'nai Mitzvah. So there's something special about this intimate space. And I realized that for L'Chadodi, we rise and we're supposed to face west because the way the synagogue is supposed to be designed to welcome the Sabbath bride. And, well, sometimes synagogues are made differently, and who am I to judge? But it hit me because there's always a problem. Okay. We need to have both doors open, and I want to make sure we have both prayer books on both sides. And so when we rose to welcome, what side were we going to welcome the door? And I don't know, it's an idiosyncrasy in life, but I felt it was beautiful because half the congregation thought about standing there. Some people just face there, and the other people face there. And if we believe in Sukkot that we wave the luvav everywhere, that's God's presence is everywhere. Al chad kama v'kama. So when we welcome the Sabbath bride, she's everywhere. And anyways, I felt like I wanted to say something. It's not like my nature. We have a joke that in the afternoon service, starting at 3 o'clock, that's when mistakes start to happen. But since it's Elul and we're supposed to think about our mistakes, I'm just preparing you for the worst. I'm just kidding. Okay. And if it's the sound, there's someone else we can yell at. It's not me this time. We have a new person. Okay. She's in the pulpit folder. You'll find her. Okay. Chetzi Kaddish 144.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומייכון ובחי לכל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן מעלמה ואמרו Amen.
146, and we rise together.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yada-dai-dai-dai, 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 yada-dai-dai-dai. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed Le'olam Va'ed Yada-dai-dai-dai, yada-dai-dai-dai, Yadadai nai nai, 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 yadadai nai nai.
Please be seated. We read together the bottom of page 149. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai Hamariv Aravim. We read together the top of page 151. Giving him some vocal rest. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam, Leolam Ba'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha vehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
The bottom of page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be at one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Our Michamocha on the next page.
מי כמוך מעלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילתו שם פלא, נורא תהילתו שם פלא, מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגואלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Together to the bottom of page 60, 160. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raises up our guardian to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield us and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. We stay right here.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, מעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Mehamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Mehamidenu shomreinu l'chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim.
The top of page 163. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is unconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. Vishamru 162.
Vishameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת מי נפש.
The middle of page 165. 165. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. For those who are able, we rise together for our tefillah on the next page.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'Konei Hakol, Ve'Zocher Chastei Avot ve'Imahot, U'mevii Geula livnei v'neihem, Lema'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Hozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei metim ata, Rav lehoshia, Morit hatal, Mechalkel chaim bechesed, Mechayei metim berachamim rabim, Somech noflim berofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman ata lahachayot metim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei hametim. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. We turn to the top of page 179. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praise are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace.
We take a few moments for private prayer. Yihil ratzonim refi, Yihil
כול רצון אמרי פי, והגיון ליבי לפניך. אדוני צורי וגואלי. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be acceptable before you. O God, my rock and my redeemer. Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, me'imeru, me'imeru, amen.
At this point in our service, we think of our loved ones, our friends, those who mean so much to us, who are in need of healing, whether body or spirit. We especially think of Sophia Barry Gordon, Katie Bates, Kent Bricker, Shelley Hayes, Simona Herring, Ian J., David Kraselski, Virgil Luger, Michal Mizrowitz, Ron Ostreicher, Malkabat, Rachel, Diane Six, Alan Unger, and Brenda Weinstein. For those who are with us tonight, if you're thinking of a loved one and you wish to share their name out loud, we invite you either by rising or as my eyes meet yours.
Pam Goodnow and Carrie Candy. Mike Bogart. Dorothy Hines. Sandra Berman. Brenda Watt. Carol Beck. Sandra Berman.
We're good? Okay. Our Misha Barak, our prayer for healing, 371.
Mishem Berach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Le'imoteinu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishem Beirach Imoteinu Mekor HaBracha Le'avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbos.
I want to talk about memory and remembrance. So my first question for us tonight, and I don't mean this question to be a gotcha moment, but I want to see something. I want to conduct a spiritual experiment. Tell me, for those who want, 10 days ago, what did you have for lunch? You're certain you had tuna fish? I don't remember. It was either a salad or a sandwich. I don't remember. I'm a creature of habit, but does anyone know what they had for lunch 10 days ago? Okay, I want to try another thing too. On Monday, what do we have for lunch? Do we remember? Do you remember? Delta food? Okay, raise your hand if you absolutely do not remember what you had for lunch on Monday. In honesty, it's Elul. Okay. Now I'm going to ask a different question, and I think there's a difference between memory and remembrance. I think memory sometimes is the facts. I know I had a salad today for lunch, or if I think of dates of Jewish history, I can do that for the most part. But now I want to talk about the difference between memory and remembrance. I'm going to ask one more question, and it's going to be an uncomfortable question. Some people will want to speak, and some people will just want to hear, and there's no wrong answers. But I'm highly confident the question I'm about to ask, most people in this room will remember exactly where they were and what they were doing. So my question is, who knows what they were doing on September 11th? To me, that's not memory. That's remembrance. And for those who want to share, and it's not my intent to bring up hard memories, but I'm going somewhere with this. Who wants to share where they were on this day? Chip.
Well, tonight you're going to read not with the Yorksites, my mother, Lauren Schwartz. On the morning of 9/11, I was in her living room preparing for her funeral later that day. Trying to figure out, I became a caregiver for a disabled sister. And watching the Today Show when I watched it happen. Later that day, I found out my first cousin from New York, who was on the plane on the tarmac in LaGuardia, had to get off the plane and walk back to Manhattan. He described it as being a lot of people wandering around listlessly. And then my other cousin in Washington, D.C. was on his way to the airport to come to the funeral, and he watched the planes go into the town. Did not make it. Till the next day, when he drove over to Cincinnati. So, and then every November, I would go to a conference at the hotel at the Towers. And so it was about 2 months out from going to a conference at Optics Center. So, dark day in my life, a lot of memories and a lot to remember. So,
Anybody else want to share? 1, 2. Yeah.
I was watching the Today Show also and getting ready for work. And I was just glued to the television. I couldn't believe what was happening. And it's also the date I found out my father was ill with coffee from Colorado.
I was on the way to Temple to bring my kids to Temple Talks.
It's Tuesday morning.
We weren't here. We were at Bear Properties. And I dropped my oldest off at his preschool when I was on the way. And I called my dad and called me. And I was like, I don't feel comfortable taking my child to Temple. We had this whole debate. And basically, we were in Bear Properties, and who's going to think that preschool is in Bear Properties, that our Temple was in Bear Properties at the time. But I mean, I just remember driving down the Howard Avenue saying, I can't take my children.
I remember it very vividly because I was working for, at the time, Saks Fifth Avenue, and I was one of the 3 executive assistants. I was the one to women's ready-to-wear, and I immediately heard, we heard something on the computer, and I immediately went in and told George Jones, well, his assistant, everybody was in New York. I said, we got to find out where they are. We have a big problem. And it was there. It was a quite unshattering day.
We'll take a few more.
I was with students at Isidore Newman School in New Orleans, in the office, surrounded by high schoolers, but only imagine the ripple effect of all of us kind of spreading out to see how we could best help and deliver the message appropriately to the different ages of the kids.
Okay. A horrible day. And I talked to a congregant earlier, and I just want to mention this. She was walking in New York, heading downtown, and then turned around. She was visiting her daughter, and I said, "How'd you get home?" And she said, "By the luck of God, I was able to get the Parisian bus." And I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. I said, "How long was that bus ride back from New York to Birmingham?" And she said, "It didn't matter. I was just happy to be on the bus." So we all remember. And for me, I was 19 years old. I was in between classes. I was in the student lounge, and it's something about the lack of frontal lobe development, because when I was 19, we all can imagine what I did on that Friday and Saturday, because it wasn't developed yet. And I'm going to ask the same question, but we don't have to get the responses. As I said, where were we on October 7th on that Saturday morning? I remember every single detail of that moment like it was yesterday, and I'm sure many of us have the same feeling. So after the first couple weeks, after the first week of 9/11, of the fear, the sadness, what else did we feel? Was there any positive feeling that came? Positive feeling after 9/11? Anything? For the celebration of the first responders, FDNY, the police, the first responders, the people that rushed in. That's where I want to go. The feeling of unity. And I gave a sermon on Yontif 4 years ago. It was the 20th anniversary, and I asked David Frank for his sermon. And it was in there about the shortage of American flags. That we were, in a way, we were united that this most significant event that changed everything, we found a way, I guess politically speaking, truly to be purple. And I remember all the concerts that they had, the special albums. There was something about the pride of being American. And there's an incredible documentary about, I'm going to say a president's name from the pulpit, and I think we're all going to be okay. But when George W. Bush threw out that pitch at Yankee Stadium, how old were you then? 10. Okay. But he was wearing a bulletproof vest, and Derek Jeter said, "You got to throw a strike. If you don't throw a strike, you're going to lose the moment." And he comes out, and the crowd is cheering, and he throws a perfect strike. And there was something about it that brought a form of healing. And even though the Yankees lost to Arizona in 7 games, there was something special with that. I think that's the first time in Major League Baseball, I know certain historians are here, that baseball went to November, correct? Usually we stay in October. It was November baseball because everything got delayed. There was no football. I'm assuming there wasn't any college football. It wasn't nothing. Everything stopped. It was collective mourning. In a way like October 7th for the Jewish world in Israel, everything stopped. I remember I tried to get a Detroit Fire Department t-shirt. I couldn't get it. Even Detroit Fire Department was sold out. But the celebration of unity was everywhere. But it's such a paradox. We never get together when good things happen. And we've had a lot of great wins as a collective country. Tons of great wins in sports and economics and technology. And there's no shortage of American flags. You get one on Amazon immediately, but you get my joke, my point, that we never celebrate the good. But when there's such tragedy, at this pivotal moment in American history, we found ourselves to come together. And I'm assuming that 99.9% of high holiday sermons had to be rewritten because of where that event failed in September, 24 years ago. I'm not asking us to remember what we had for lunch 2 weeks ago or what we watched on TV. These are ancillaries in life that we should forget because they're meaningless. As I tell the B'nai Mitzvah students that, gee, what happens if you make a mistake? And they said, nobody will know. And I say, well, that's not true. I'll know. And then I say, do you know how many mistakes I make? And they laugh. But I said, do you get nervous when you tie your shoe? They go, no, because things don't mean anything. And it's okay that we forget what we didn't have for lunch. But I want us to remember that there's still good in this world. And in light of what happened 2 days ago, whether one's on the right or one's on the left, that there's certain ideals in this country that have got to be celebrated. The freedom of thought, not to interfere with one's personal or intellectual liberties. This is what makes America great. But what makes Judaism great when we can have debates and discourse and have dinner afterwards. For those who saw my announcement that only 8% of people in this country are friends with different political ideologies, and I thought that was just nonsense. And I saw another statistic, I know it's not Yontif, that 30% of college students believe that it's okay to use violence if they find speech they don't like. And we got to find a way to celebrate the good. So I started researching. I was trying to find quotes from famous rabbis, from intellectuals, thinkers who could give us something, what they said on 9/11 to be inspiring. And I got to tell you, I wasn't inspired. Yes, there was the great fire department in New York with that New York accent and the taunts to bin Laden. Yeah, I can't say that here on this pulpit. But I found something that really came to me. And I'm going to focus on Robert Levin because he knows where I'm going to go. Because you're my sports guy. And Glenn's not here. So baseball froze. And then all of a sudden it came back. And when they came out on the field, an NFL, but especially Major League Baseball, they usually didn't do this. They had a big American flag on that diamond. And there's one famous baseball announcer that made it okay to watch America's pastime, because this is what defines us, that we're supposed to be together and celebrate this moment of being back. Do you remember who that was? Close. Jack Buck. Jack Buck, okay? And he wrote this poem. And you can't get a full copy of it because it's still, they won't allow the full edition. And I want to share part of this poem tonight because where we are right now in our world, I think if Jack were still alive, his son is. But at this moment where we are, since this nation was founded under God more than 200 years ago, we have been a bastion of freedom, the light that keeps the free world aglow. We do not covet the possessions of others. We are blessed with the bounty we share, and we have rushed to help other nations, anything, anytime, anywhere. War is just not in our nature. We do this to protect what we know is right. We've been challenged by a cowardly foe who strikes and then hides from our view. With one voice we say, we have no choice today. There is only one thing to do. Everyone is saying the same thing and praying that we end these senseless moments we are living. As our fathers did before, we shall win this unwanted war. And our children will enjoy the future we'll be given. In America, our war is different today. It's against each other. And I think all hot comma v'kama, all the more so. I want to build a world for my children where it doesn't matter what ideology one comes from, but it's the sake of being together that matters the most. And I want to build a future for them where they're supposed to celebrate the good too, where the good is not memory, the good is remembrance. I had 2 congregants, one in San Diego and one here, directly lost someone on 9/11. And there's another individual in this room who was responsible to refortify the Pentagon. I'm not going to call him this individual, but their lightness finds a way to shine. Someone in this room rose above to rebuild the Pentagon. Celebrate the good. Celebrate a better sound system. Celebrate those idiosyncrasies in life. And we rise together for Aleinu 586.
עלינו לשמח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, מנגור עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. On this Shabbat, we recall those who have passed away in the Shloshim these 30 days. Stephen Muss, father of Maryland and Jeffrey and Jerry Sklar. And we also recall the Yortzites, those who passed away. Ann Bayer, Mary Lynn Bates, Florence Hanover Bayer, Bessie Binder, Moses Seligman Blank, Cecil Bronstein and Mark Bronstein, Anita Brown, Eva Camp, John Cassetti, Bennett Cherner, Herbert Cohen, Tessie Stein Cohen, Ralph Davis, Edith Epstein, Joan Sachs Freeman, Barish Golger, Jacob Harris, August Hirsch, Will Holloway, Louise Combar, Jerome Leader, John Allen Lefkowitz, Carrie Levine, Hyman Maurice Levine Sr., May Locke, Anita Goldman Marcus, Marjorie Margolin, Ike May, June Michael, Ralph Mitnick, Iris Denenberg Norris, Louis Phillips, Matilda Pinhas and Cindy Pinhas, Mary Rose and Lauren Sachs, Lorna Schwartz, Sidney Sonny Seideman Jr., Ida Siegel, Phil Shapiro Sr., Albert Sugarman, Kat Silverfield, Rena Simons, Robert Samuel Slate, James Gordon Sperling, Ryan Danielle Stanton, Cy Stern, Ernie Wiltshire, Lynn Otis Wilmoth, and Beatrice Ziff. May all their memories forever be a blessing. If it is your custom to rise for a Mortar's Kaddish, we invite you to do so as we turn to page 598. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah, v'yomad yivrach erotei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'galau v'zman kariv v'yamru.
Amen.
Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya,
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירם בעלמה ויאמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו, אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו amen.
Okay, announcements. And they wrote it down for me. I'm going to read it word for word, okay? We'd like to add one announcement to your list that you read out during Erev Shabbat service. I know your favorite thing to do. This Friday at midnight, I mean, it really should be Saturday night, but that's okay. Registration closes for Temple Circles. So we'd like to encourage anyone that still wants to participate in a circle to sign up tonight, and all capitalize. We have all capitalize. One circle in particular, trivia over 35. You don't need to be a trivia expert. I mean, you should know something. I'm looking at you want to win, but that's okay. It's general trivia and for fun, which they will have. It's for people 35 and over. But I'm going to assume if you're 34 and 33, that's okay?
No, we have another one, 35 and under.
Oh, trivia? That's a good point. 35 and a half, you round up. Okay. All right. I'm not done. I don't want to get in trouble. We have someone from our executive committee here. And there are others, of course, that are still open for more people as well. Please feel free to put this in your own words, of course. I got to tell you, we have a pulpit folder, but they still want me to do announcements. And I don't want to fight the board, peace, love, and happiness, but let's see what else we got. Slichot tomorrow at 6 o'clock. I know there's, you have the brunch game at 11 o'clock, right? Yeah, Wisconsin, okay. Religious school, hey, go Badgers? Did you just say go Badgers? You got money on the line? Or okay.
That's my team.
That's your college football team? He's from New York. He roots for the Philadelphia Eagles. And okay, I don't understand you sometimes. Okay. All right. And then one shout out. I'm teaching another 10-part lecture series at IPC. They put up with all my jokes, and they want more jokes. But it's going to be a fascinating course. We're juxtaposing how Jews understand biblical prophets versus how gospel writers and early Christians and contemporary Christians understand biblical prophets. It's at IPC at 10 o'clock. They have an incredible sound system. I'm always in awe, but please join us. Those are my announcements. You can find them on our website, and don't forget about Temple Circles. Temple Circles. Okay, let's do part of Psalm 27 because we're supposed to.
אחת שאלתי מאת אדוני אותו אבקש אחת שאלתי מאת אדוני אותו אבקש שבתי בבית אדוני כל ימי חיי לחזות בנועם בנועם אדוני ולבקר בהיכלו לחזות בנועם בנועם אדוני ולבקר בהיכלו.
Shabbat Shalom. Please join us for our oneg and go to the oneg. If you came in this way, you got to go in that way. If you came in that way, you got to go that way. Okay. That's right.
Shabbos.
Shabbat Shalom. Emily Post, chapter 7.